Hello, everyone, and welcome to GUIDEcx Office Hours. We are excited to be back with you for another month. My name is Stacey Hatch, Product Marketing Manager here at GUIDEcx, and I am joined on today's call by Chris Halaiua, our VP of Product here at GUIDEcx. We have quite a few new fun and exciting features to talk to you about and also give updates on features kind of coming soon. I will be kicking things off today with a few housekeeping items. The first being that SSO is now available for the community. The second is that we will be hosting a HubSpot webinar tomorrow, which we're excited about. And then also wanted to talk to you a little bit about the features that add value to you that we are planning to spotlight over the course of this summer. Chris then will be giving a demo about the new AI functionality in our reporting, as well as an update on the threaded messages beta coming soon and V2 of the project plan. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave those in the chat or the Q&A as we go along, and we will answer those live. We are happy to have you with us this month. Let's get started. So first, Community SSO. If you have been on office hours before, you've heard us talk about the community, but if you are new, welcome. The community is a place where you're able to go to learn about GUIDEcx events, to learn about new features and functionality. We're getting quite a few chats. Chris, do you see anything issue? Okay, perfect.
All good. It's just happiness.
Perfect. And you're able to go in and talk to other users who are using GUIDEcx and get feedback from them, gain best practices and insights. And now you're able to actually get into community, log in, and authenticate with your same exact GUIDEcx credentials. So let's take just like a quick look of what that looks like. If you haven't been into community, you can easily access that directly within GUIDEcx. So here in the support icon, go ahead and click. And then once you're in support, click on community. And when you go to log in for the first time, you'll now see this GUIDEcx login button that when you click, again, the first time you will be asked to create a username, but then following that, you'll be automatically authenticated through SSO. I want to call your attention to this events tab here in community. If you're not active in the community, join and then look specifically here in this events tab, because here's where we'll post about upcoming webinars that will be useful and helpful for you, as well as in-person events like our Lunch and Learn coming up tomorrow. I wanted to specifically call out here this HubSpot setup guide webinar that's happening tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, so 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Jeff Johnson, our resident integration expert and technical solutions specialist, is hosting this and will be walking you through exactly how to set up the HubSpot integration. You can click attend here within the community and actually join directly from the community as well by clicking this join here link. So if you are a HubSpot user and you're not currently integrated or using our integration, or maybe you're using an older integration rather than the recipe builder, I would suggest you join, because Jeff is going to be walking through how you can automatically create projects, but not just create those projects, also populate those projects. So what goes into that in the selection of the template, the auto assignment of a project manager, even auto task assignment. And he'll also be walking through the standard fields that sync from GUIDEcx to HubSpot, and then also the options you have to customize and sync custom fields. So again, that's tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And then finally, this summer, we've recently released quite a few new features, and we want to take each month and actually go a little bit deeper into these and the value that they add for you. Here in July, so next week, you'll actually see more communication from us around GUIDEcx BI. So we've talked about Report Builder before, the ability that you now have to create, edit layouts, build dashboards from scratch. Well, we're now coupling that with our new AI assistant, which will allow you to ask business questions and get answers with text or with visualizations. And also you can generate things like new dashboards. I'm queuing Chris up because he's about to give you a fantastic demo of exactly what this looks like and the value this AI assistant and tool will bring to you. So look out for more communications from us with these summer spotlighted features. And Chris, tell us more about the power of AI.
All right. Start sharing as well. Stacy. So as we go into how Report Builder is expanding and evolving into GuideCX Business Intelligence, a lot of it is driven by our belief in this great quote from Ali Miller, which states that AI is already on track to progress from subhuman to superhuman in 4 years. And a lot of the leases that many of us have for our different office buildings will be over before then. So we're talking about a very short-term period where it's going to be more than just an assistant, but a really critical piece of something that can help us out. So here's a quick video about it.
Tech get ChatGPT wrong. In 85, this is 1985, Jobs asked,
You know who Alexander the Great's tutor was for about 14 years?
of course, he answers,
Aristotle.
but then he drops in this line.
And I read this, I became immensely jealous. And
It's an incredible talk, but especially with AI now, people always seem to focus on the wrong part, where he says,
someday, some student will be able to not only read the words Aristotle wrote, but ask Aristotle a question and get an answer.
and yes, 40 years later, we can do that. But people are missing a far more relevant part from that same speech. And what he says here would repeat itself with computers and websites, smartphones, and now AI. He said,
Whenever we develop a new medium, we generally tend to fall back into our old habits from our old media.
we fall back into our old habits. Then he uses a great example.
When the television first came of age in America, the first television shows were simply a camera pointed at a radio show. And it took about 20, 30 years for television to really come into its own.
And that's exactly what we're doing
right now. So that's where he kind of ended it. So
Oh.
what he's basically saying is that from computers to websites to smartphones to AI, one of the biggest mistakes that any of us can make around using this new medium is to think of AI the way that we used to think about apps on the smartphone or websites on the internet, or even just separate software. That there's a dramatically new way that we need to approach this. And so as we think about how Report Navigator evolved into Report Builder, and now Report Builder is adding AI to become GuideCX Business Intelligence, it's not worth your attention unless I can prove to you how it helps you in three big areas: making your people more productive, making your processes much smarter, and making the products that you're investing in truly unique and differentiated. So that's what I hope to prove to you here in the next little bit. So let's take that first point. How does AI inside of GuideCX make your people more productive? Well, last year, if you had asked us what we had around AI, we would have been relatively limited to the open AI recipes that you can get inside of our integration builder, and that we have videos on inside of the integration section of our website. And that those three things were summarization, expansion, and translation. So in real life, we have already begun to take notes and summarize them via AI. You can already go into some task instructions and have the AI help you expand those instructions to be a lot more detailed. Or you can even take those expanded instructions and translate them to a different language if you have a global audience or a global team like many of our providers do. And we're really proud about that initial foray into AI, but that was a lot of last year. So this year, what we're really trying to do now is make your processes more a lot smarter. And we're seeing an evolving improvement here as we're kind of going through these next 4 years as AI becomes superhuman. And we're still kind of stuck here at this point where I'm going to show you here in a moment how you're going to be able to get alerts, maybe see some visualizations, but how we quickly need to start jumping into getting recommendations that come and find you throughout GuideCX rather than always in the reports tab. And then very soon we'll be able to get to places where we're really expanding what we're predicting beyond just forecasting the end date of the project. So how do I want to make that true for you right now? Well, this is what we're looking at in the roadmap for AI in 2024. And the very first thing that is live and real and ready for you to try out today is AI chat, where just like Steve Jobs mentioned, we can ask Aristotle a question and receive an answer. And in this case, what we're going to do is just ask in plain English a question and get the one word or one sentence responses to that really quickly. And right after that, though, what you'll probably be interested in is going beyond just getting those simplistic answers to a little bit more diagnostic type of answers around universal models for anomaly detection and contribution analysis. That basically means what's weird and what made it weird. And so that's what will start to come to a lot of our reports, are those two universal models. And then after that, we'll push hard into prediction. And again, this is not just general like time series forecasting where we might just take a trend and extend it out into the future, but it's much more around propensity or likelihood. And what we're looking at is what are the high, medium, and low likelihoods of your customers to engage or likelihoods of a project to be late so that you can begin to kind of segment the areas where you need to spend a little bit more attention and have that be the focus of what is truly being predicted there. Then you'll see us roll into generative AI. First, it'll be generative AI for dashboard creation, like I'll show you here in just a few seconds. And then it'll be eventually generative AI for project creation, where you could just say, hey, give me the head start of what a template might look like if it was for this SKU or for this product offering. We'll be able to import that, and then you can modify it as you'd like. And then finally, what we'd love is to really start to get into autoresponders inside of threaded messages, where you would have chat bots that could either answer a question or that could route people to the correct place where they could get those questions answered. So this is all very aspirational. It's going to take us some time to get there, but we're really excited to show you right now where we already have the ability for you to test AI chat and generative AI for dashboards today. So the way that works is you would navigate over to the reports tab, and then up in the top left, you'll see a new AI button. And then in that, you'll be able to just ask it these plain English questions and get a response. You still will need to choose which data set you want it to focus on. And it will also show its work about exactly how it came up with that answer so that you can feel confident that the response was accurate. But we're really excited for this to be the first step that literally anybody, regardless of their technical expertise, could use to begin benefiting from this AI. But kind of like the video warned us before, this is a really tempting area for us to stop and actually treat this new medium of AI like the old mediums of search. And so to go beyond that, this is what generative AI looks like for dashboards. So we'll watch this quick video. So this is live. This is exactly the kind of experience you could get today inside of GUIDEcx Business Intelligence. You could ask it, hey, build me a new report, a new dashboard that takes into account these different data sources. You'll see it churn through and organize the insights by content area and type with a variety of well-matched visualizations. And then you'll be able to go and pick up from there and make it what you want it to be. So watch out for the emails from Stacy, and you'll see opportunities to get live demos of that and try it out for yourselves. The very next thing, though, we want to expand into is what we mentioned around threaded messages. So you've already seen a couple of demos of this over the past couple office hours. If you want to go in and see a deeper set of the live examples, I recommend checking out the GUIDEcx YouTube channel that has all those recordings. But I just want to fly past this concept of having a global inbox and emoji reactions and threaded replies and save for later and just confirm, yes, we are on track for the betas around this to begin, like we said here, in the end of this month. So the betas will be closed at first. We'll just choose the people who have been most willing to go and test and give us really detailed feedback. And we'll be expanding very quickly to an open beta where you can activate this via labs. So a couple updates, though, that are worth emphasizing around it are the things that we've had to accept as compromises for us to be able to stay on track with our target release dates. And one of the first ones was around default channels. You've just come to expect, and rightfully so, that we would always have channels around projects and tasks. And we definitely have been able to deliver that around projects, but tasks are such a large count of items that need to be migrated that is going to have to be a fast follower. It will still be a part of this beta, but it'll be more of kind of the summer timeframe here over the next month or so. But in that, you can still expect with the default project channels to be able to use all these reactions and save for later. And most of all, try our new rich text composer that has all the indented bullets and much easier screenshots and formatting that people are really excited about. So it's acknowledging that the beta is worth trying, but will probably be used mostly internally for your coordination before you start really involving customers in the GA release. We're really focused on bringing attachment previews in earlier and making it so that everything you've come to love about Notes are included, like importing their email replies as a message and on and on. As we look then to some of the things that might be kind of V2s as we expand, we really wanted to get scheduled delivery out there. It's one of the things that people have asked for a ton. It probably isn't going to be as soon as fall, like I had hoped, but it is something we're still excited to do after that. But as a trade, we've had a lot of people say, hey, you've talked about email, but I wish it could also kick off some SMS text notifications. So as a trade, we've been able to pull that in a little bit sooner. But just know that we're very open to your feedback. We can continue to make these kind of trades and pull things sooner as you have different types of feedback. But watch out for a lot of exciting announcements around threaded messages, really just over these next few days. So the next big beta that's coming out right around the same time is the V2 of really our entire core experience, both in the project plan and in the task drawer. So I'll just let this video kind of play in the background from our office hours last month to help you rest assured that this is real. This is working in our staging environment. We're doing really detailed testing, and this is something that you can all benefit from as you are just using the background navigation to swap from one item to another rather than having to close and open the task drawer, benefiting from automatic save, and really just have this take a lot fewer clicks than it ever has before. So to manage expectations in a similar way about both the project plan and task drawer V2, we're just super committed to not building the wheel, then the chassis, then the frame, then the car, but kind of going from a skateboard to a bike to a car, which means that you're going to see constantly expanding enhancements to this beta, where at first we don't expect there to be huge adoption, maybe in July. It'll probably be limited to about 5 companies that really dive in deep to that earliest of previews. But you can expect tons of updates to really happen throughout July and August until we target this general availability release in the fall. So what are you going to get if you choose to opt into this beta super early? Well, you're going to get the fastest loading screens that have ever happened in GUIDEcx. It's going to be dramatically, noticeably faster, even if you have very large projects. You'll be able to take that same text editor that you heard about in threaded messages and have that available to you inside of task instructions. And again, just everything is going to be so much more modern and fast and easier to use than you've ever seen. And we really wanted this to be so dramatic of a change that it was worth the test, even though, again, you might not actually invite customers to a live project until we hit this GA parity in the fall, where we then have all the other things you've come to expect around bulk edits and etc. But we think that even if this is available for everyone to use in the fall, that it probably won't be used 100% until the winter. And so just know that if you ever do create projects in this dramatically improved new sandbox, that there will be a new workspace just for that. And we're not planning to ever have those test projects be something that you kind of pull back into the old system. It's all, moving forward. So you can't expect any products you create to be available moving forward, but it's not the type of thing where you can kind of like bounce back and forth between it. It really is just committing a subset of your work to the one and having that move forward. But really the reason why this patience is going to be worthwhile is because that is what's going to set me up to just say yes to a lot of feature requests you've had for a very long time around multi-dependencies, backwards relationship, lead lag, and on and on and on, all the way up to one of the very most feature requests around time off calendar. Because this new architecture that makes everything fast also makes a lot of former Mission Impossibles realistic. And we're really excited to give you a dramatically improved experience here this year. So that's the end of my presentation. Let's go to the questions and some of the items that might have come up in chat.
Yeah, one question, Chris, from Elena. She said, so no importing existing projects to the updated UI.
Right. So that's at least for the beta period. When we get out there into the general availability release, that's when we can begin to talk about backwards compatibility and investigate some of those options. But it really will be more of a new switch where you'll have new templates, new projects, new options. And that's why it's so separated like that.
Good. Any other questions from anyone on the call? I haven't seen any others come in, Chris, but Jill did ask to be added to the Project Plan B2 beta. So I told her we've marked her down.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a couple more. Is there anything in the new project about having a database of tasks that you can pick and put into projects?
So what's so cool about that question from Jill is that it also relates to the question from Elena about having to rebuild templates. And the answer is that this all sets us up for the brand new template library that will be coming right after that, where in short, yes, you will be able to have a library of templated tasks, milestones, phases, and everything. So rather than just being limited to the current definition of templates, which is a collection of milestones, you can have a template library of all objects. It'll be much more flexible. So although you will need to build some new templates, the flexibility will be worthwhile because you won't have to be stuck in this hall of mirrors where you have such a large count of templates because it's such a high level. The much more granular templates will make it so you can adapt to the business reality you have, where a project in flight might need last minute just to activate a new milestone from the library or a new task from the library.
Awesome. Another question. I know we talked about reporting. When will custom fields be added to reporting? Also, can we have that data be exported from the project page?
Yeah, thanks for that, Elon. So in short, the answer is today. We have the new custom field data available to those that have Report Builder. For those that don't and have the view-only experience of Report Navigator, then we are considering a new standard report. It probably will not be as flexible as everybody will want. And so it'll be focused more on fulfilling that need you mentioned about wanting to be able to export the custom field labels and values from a report rather than exporting them from the project page. So that'll be the way that we work on it, but it will be a relatively simple and straightforward collection of those new custom fields. And we would encourage anybody who wants to use those custom fields in their own reports to explore this GUIDEcx business intelligence offering that Stacy and I will be catching you up on throughout the month. Is Report Builder an add-on package or available in a different level? So in short, yes, it's available to any package, but it's an add-on. Good questions. So I know that we've kind of glossed over this concept of GUIDEcx Business Intelligence. Just think of it as 3 levels. You have Report Navigator, which is view only. You got Report Builder, which is edit. And then you have AI, which is automatic.
Perfect. Doesn't look like there are any other questions, but if there are, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll send out a recording of this webinar that you can review and share with your teams. We appreciate you being on and engaging. We love to hear your feedback so we can continue to improve our product and the experience for all of you. Oh, one other, I'm just going to actually put this out here too. Is Customer View live yet?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about it. We've been mentioning Customer View or View As for a while. It's so close. I have a sign right here in my office that says, only commit to dates when I've seen it myself in production. I have seen it in production. I've seen it. We have it behind a feature switch right now. We're just making sure that it's rock solid, super secure and fast. But we expect it definitely to be very few days before you can activate that labs beta for you. Definitely not weeks. So close. And if you don't see the AI button on reports, it might be that you have Report Navigator. In other words, just the the view experience, not the edit experience. If you do have the edit experience, that's where the CSMs and I would love to engage with all of you.
With that, we will close it out. Again, thanks for hopping on. We appreciate you, and we will talk to you again next month. See you later.
See you, everybody.